Greetings, UNT students and alumni. The Career Center has some great tips on how to make your resume stand out, as well as some things you'll want to avoid while crafting your resume. So join these Eagles in landing a great career. The Career Center has several locations, both on and off campus. The main Career Center is located in Sage Hall. College of Business students have access to career coaches in the BLB. College of Science students have a career coach in Hickory Hall. College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences students have a career coach housed in the GAB. College of Engineering and College of Information students have a career coach on site at Discovery Park, and students who attend classes at our Frisco campus have access to the Career Center there. We offer resume reviews and assistance through appointments, as well as drop-in hours for your convenience. The Career Center, regardless of the location, offers a multitude of services. Some of these services, as you can see, include career and internship advising and coaching, classroom presentations and workshops, resume and cover letter reviews, professional headshot photos, and career fairs, to name just a few. What is the purpose of a resume? Well, your resume is a self-marketing document. It allows you to effectively communicate your education, work, volunteer or internship experiences, and highlights the skills and assets you possess to employers. A resume is considered an art, not a science, and should be tailored for each job you are applying for. It is used to convince prospective employers to interview you based on your qualifications and to create a professional image of yourself while establishing your credibility. The first tip is to do your research. There are several different ways to research an employer. You can do so by viewing their job descriptions to identify the skills and qualifications required for their positions. Go to the company's website to learn more about them and the positions they offer. You could also participate in on-campus information sessions in which employers come to UNT to discuss their job opportunities with students. It's also highly encouraged that you review current press releases or articles about the company to determine any recent news or trends within that industry. Lastly, you can review resume examples for the job industry in which you are applying for. For example, a College of Engineering student will compose their resume and highlight different information than a student from the College of Music. Your career coach can help you with the information to include on your resume, or you could also visit the Career Center's website for examples and additional resources. When composing your resume, you want to ensure you incorporate keywords. How do you determine what keywords to include? The best way to do this is to find 7 to 10 job listings for your field and write down the education, skills, and experience each employer requires. Look for similarities between each employer. These keywords will allow employers to determine whether you are a good fit for the position. In addition, many companies now use what's called an applicant tracking system to rank your resume when you apply for a position online. These tracking systems are searching for keywords to separate the qualified candidates from those who are unqualified. The higher your resume ranks with the addition of specific keywords, the more likely your resume will filter through the system and be reviewed by a hiring manager or recruiter. The second tip is to think about the appearance of your resume. This is your opportunity to make a good first impression. Think of the 3 C's when crafting your resume. You want it to be clean, clear, and concise. Your resume should be easy to read, so you'll want to avoid long sentences, but be sure to personalize it with your skills and experiences. Ensure all information is accurate. If a position requires you to have experience using a particular software that you have never used before, do not state you have experience with it on your resume. Only include the skills and qualifications that you possess that are related to the position. And remember, Recruiters only typically spend an average of 6 seconds reviewing a resume. So oftentimes, less is more. There are two types of resume styles: reverse chronological and functional. The reverse chronological resume is the most widely used, where the focus is on your professional work experience. A functional resume highlights your skills more than your experience, especially when you have little to no previous work experience. You'll want to avoid including too much information to where your resume becomes difficult to read with little to no white space. Remember that 6 second rule. You should bold sections and job titles to make them stand out. Use short declarative statements and try to keep your resume 1 page in length or two at the most if you are a more experienced job seeker. Be sure your resume is consistent throughout with the same font and font sizes, and refrain from using any fancy fonts or graphics. If you are unsure as to which resume to use, the Career Center can help you determine whether a chronological or functional style resume is the best for you. The third tip when it comes to resume writing is to list your experience in reverse chronological order. This means you will include your most current employer first and then work backwards from there. The same goes for your education. If you attended another institution or community college prior to coming to UNT, UNT will be listed first under your education section, and the other colleges will be listed under UNT. Because you are a college student or graduate, it is not necessary to list your high school information on your resume, as it is assumed you completed high school while now being a college student. Under your professional experience section, include 2 to 4 bullet points for each position to highlight both your accomplishments and the knowledge gained. Do not include experience that is irrelevant to the position you are applying for, and divide your experience into different sections. You'll have a professional experience section, full or part-time positions, or any internships you've completed, and then another section titled Other Experience to include any volunteer work, co-curricular activities, or any other relevant unpaid experiences. Start all your short bullet point statements with action verbs, but be sure to incorporate several different verbs while constructing your statements. You don't want to use the same action verb over and over, such as assisted with this, assisted with that. Be creative and don't be afraid to jazz it up a little. The fourth tip we already talked about, and that is to put your relevant work experience first. This would include full and part-time jobs, self-employment, volunteer work, and practicum field or cooperative education. You'll want to include the job title you held or currently hold if you're still employed there. The dates of employment and just the month and year is sufficient. You'll also need to include the company's name and the city and state in which it's located. Tip number 5 is to proofread your resume after it is finished. Ensure there are no grammatical errors and your tenses throughout are consistent. You can make an appointment with the Career Center to have your resume reviewed by a career coach, or we have career ambassadors who will also be happy to review your resume and provide feedback and suggestions. The ambassadors are available daily during drop-in hours without the need to make an appointment. Here are some extra do's when it comes to resume writing. Do save your resume as a PDF rather than a Word document. Do sell yourself and use as many keywords that are applicable. Do include any references on a separate document and do not include them on your resume. If you are asked by the employer to provide references, be sure to reach out to them first to ask their permission before you list them, so they have the heads up and will anticipate contact from the employer rather than being caught off guard and unprepared. There are many ways to connect with the Career Center, and Handshake is a great resource to get started. This is where you can schedule an appointment with your career coach, search and apply for jobs, whether on or off campus, seek internships, and register for events such as job fairs and workshops. Overall, ensure you are career ready. We encourage you to get involved as much as possible to gain experience. This may include joining student organizations, participating in the job shadowing program, attending career events, and volunteering. All of these experiences will help you in achieving your career goals. If you do not currently have a LinkedIn profile, be sure to create one and connect with others to grow your network. Use Big Interview, which can be found on our website, to help you practice your interviewing skills. And be sure your resume is polished and up to date. Again, if you need further assistance, please reach out to the Career Center, as we will be happy to meet with you and ensure you are on the right path to becoming career ready and a highly competitive and qualified candidate when applying for jobs.